After Sir Alex Ferguson, the superhero manager of Manchester United, hung up his cape, the club embarked on a roller coaster ride trying to find someone new to steer the ship. It's like when your favorite TV show loses its main character and the new ones just can't fill those boots. They've had a series of adventures, some more successful than others, but all of them memorable in their own ways. First up was David Moyes, who was supposed to be the next great leader, almost like the chosen one. See where I went with that? Handed the torch by Alex Ferguson himself. But imagine a superhero who, instead of flying, couldn't even get off the ground. Despite his best efforts, Moyes' time at Manchester United felt more like a series of unfortunate events than a triumphant saga. His strategies and decisions often left fans scratching their heads, wondering if the club had accidentally downloaded the wrong program. Then Louis van Gaal took the stage with a thick playbook full of ideas and a promise to bring back the glory days. Picture a wizard with a spellbook who, instead of casting spectacular spells, ends up accidentally putting everyone to sleep. I remember those days. I would fall asleep in the first half and wake up to watch the second half. That's how boring it was. His approach was methodical and often criticized for being slow, predictable, like watching a chess game or watching stones grow. And his players took forever to make a move. Jose Mourinho was next, a well-known name with a trophy cabinet to match his ego. We know he's got an ego. Imagine a superhero with a bit of an attitude problem. Don't all superheroes have attitude problems? Who saves the day but also loves the spotlight a little too much. Mourinho's tenure was a mixture of highs and lows. In fact, there's still some that love him at the club. With some memorable victories but also plenty of drama, both on and off the pitch. His tactics were effective at times, but his confrontational style often clashed with the club's tradition and, most importantly, clashed with the players. He wasn't adverse to throwing his players under the bus, all of them if he needed to. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a hero from United's past, was called upon to restore faith and bring back the joy of Ferguson era. It was like reaching into a box of old comic books and finding your favorite superhero childhood one. Solskjaer brought moments of magic, but his time at the helm was like trying to pilot a spaceship through an asteroid field with only a map of the stars. There were some close calls and a few hits, but ultimately it was enough to reach the stars. Actually, it wasn't enough to reach the stars. We're talking rubbish here. Now Eric Ten Hag is at the wheel, armed with new ideas and the latest in soccer science that he brought with him from Ajax, like a tech genius tasked with upgrading an old beloved computer. He's like the bright-eyed new superhero on the scene, promising to bring a fresh approach and hoping to finally crack the code that will restore United to its former glory. So what has this got to do with artificial intelligence? I thought I'd take a satirical look at the change of managers at Manchester United through the lens of artificial intelligence. So can you imagine if each manager was created through artificial intelligence? And what would they look like? And more importantly, what would they be called? So the journey through these managers feel like Manchester United accidentally launched a program to create the perfect manager. But instead of getting a sleek, all-powerful AI like Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, they ended up beta testing different versions, each with their own quirks, and most importantly, each with a lot of bugs. So first one up, Moyes Bot 1.0 was like the first attempt at artificial intelligence that couldn't quite understand the modern game, constantly tripping over its outdated programming and making fans wonder if it was really the best that the future could offer. In fact, in real life, he wasn't the chosen one, he was the clueless one. LGV OS 2.0 seemed like a major upgrade at the time, a system boasting high intelligence and strategic depth. But instead of revolutionizing the game, it turned out to be an overly complicated, getting caught in its own web of tactics that often resulted in a product that was more yawn-inducing than exhilarating. In fact, just talking about it makes me tired. If Moyes was the clueless one, then Louis van Gaal was the boring one. He took total football, invented by the Dutch, and he turned it into a total snorefest, invented by the Dutch. We're with one another on this one. Mourinho God 3.0 was installing the most aggressive antivirus known to man, designed to shield the club from defeat. While it did fend off some threats, it also bogged down the system with constant alerts and warnings, eventually causing more problems than it solved. In my opinion, he went from the special one to the moody one to the irritating one to the one I didn't want at the club. And eventually they got rid of him. Solskjaer Restore 4.0 attempted to reset the club's fortunes by invoking the spirit of the past. It was like using System Restore on a computer, hoping to get rid of all the viruses, but finding out that some issues are just too deep-rooted to be fixed by looking backwards. Dude, unless you're going to wipe your disk completely, Control-Alt-Delete does not do anything for you. And Solskjaer, in my opinion, was a Control-Alt-Delete without wiping the disk clean. And in my opinion, Solskjaer may have been the happy one, but he was also not the one for the club. What would I call him? Clueless one has been taken already. I'll find one for him. I don't quite have one at the moment. And now with Eric Ten Hag's Advanced Tactical System. The acronym for that is THATS. THATS. United is trying the latest software upgrade, hoping it's the version that finally gets everything right. It's like the club is part of a massive ongoing experiment in finding the right algorithm to lead them back to the top, with fans eagerly waiting to see if this will be the version that doesn't crash and brings the glory days back to Old Trafford. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. There's already word out on the street that they want to replace him. This season has been a total disaster. And they're looking to bring in, of all people, Gareth Southgate. Now, I give up. Of all the managers in the world, you're going after Gareth Southgate, the England manager who has got a raft of superstars in that England team that you should not miss with that team. You've got a strong midfield, you've got strikers up front, you've got a defense. Okay, you keep putting Harry Maguire in there. By the way, Harry hasn't been playing bad. But you really got a core team that should go on and win championships. He's taken them to 2 finals. He's lost. And unfortunately, I don't think he can make the next step, which does not make him an ideal candidate for Manchester United. Firstly, he's never had to deal with the transfer market. You're bringing in players and taking out players in the England team. There's no transfer, so you don't have to deal with agents. He's never had to deal with managing foreign stars. He's managed the England stars and he's managed them for that period that they're with him. Then everybody goes a separate way. So there's very little time for animosity to creep in, other than the fact that as an England player, you're sitting on the bench and you don't get an opportunity to play. It's going to be interesting to see where Manchester United goes. But the saga of Manchester United and their quest for the perfect manager is like a grand tale of adventure, mishaps, and the search for a hero can lead them back to greatness. Each manager has brought their own story, complete with triumphs and pitfalls, but the quest goes on. with fans hoping that the latest chapter will end with their beloved club once again ruling the soccer world. This is Zaid, and you are watching Insights with Zaid. Thanks for hanging out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It allows me to bring you more content of this nature. Satirical in nature, AI in nature, sport in nature. But it allows me to give you content and at least hopefully put a smile on your face, whether you're a Manchester United supporter or not. Thanks for hanging out.